So back to our top story now. Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer is set to retire. We're expecting to hear from the president later on today. But joining me now to talk more about this is CBS News politics reporter Melissa Quinn. Melissa, you're joining me on the phone this morning. But let's talk about this. We know that the Democrats do not need GOP support to approve the nominee. They have the majority in the Senate, and the filibuster has been eliminated when it comes to Supreme Court nominees. Should there be a tie, the vice president would then be able to cast the deciding vote. So that is settled. But we also know that the midterm elections are coming down. You can see them down the end of the road there. So the question is really just how important is it going to be for the Biden administration to get the ball rolling, get a nominee named, and how important do you think it is for the president to name a black woman?
Well, I think that this retirement throws the president a lifeline almost of sorts. You know, as we've seen over the first year of his administration, the Democratic-controlled Congress has been unable to deliver for him, two crucial aspects of his agenda, the Build Back Better Act and voting rights legislation. And what we've seen, as they've been debating, progressing on these bills, is headlines about how fractured the party is. So in moving forward quickly, which Chuck Schumer has promised to do with filling Justice Breyer's expected vacancy, I think not only will help the president notch a really, really key win, but also unify Democrats, particularly in the Senate as well. They've all largely been very supportive of the president's nominees to the federal bench over the first year of his administration. And then as to nominating a black woman in particular, which he has promised to do on the campaign trail, the White House, really quickly yesterday reaffirmed that the president would follow through on that commitment, is going to be key for him in delivering to black voters in particular.
So let's talk about some of the leading contenders here. Who are they?
Well, I think there are four women who we are going to be hearing a lot about as the confirmation process plays out. I think the front runner right now is Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. She was nominated by the president to the Federal Appeals Court here in D.C. last year. It's known as the second most powerful court in the country. She also served on the Federal District Court here in D.C., and she clerked for Justice Breyer on the Supreme Court. So there's a little bit of comfort, perhaps, for him there and who could possibly succeed him. I think another frontrunner is Leondra Kruger. She is a California Supreme Court justice. She's held that position since 2014. She is also perhaps a little familiar with the Supreme Court. She worked in the Justice Department under President Obama and argued 12 cases before the justices and clerked for Justice John Paul Stevens. I think another one to keep watch on is Judge Michelle Childs. She serves on the District Court in South Carolina. The president announced her last month to serve again on the Federal Appeals Court in D.C., and she's really a favorite of Congressman Jim Clyburn of South Carolina. And then lastly, who you have up there, Judge Candace Jackson-Akalumi. She was President Biden's pick to the Seventh Circuit. She's an interesting pick because she worked for 10 years in the Federal Defender Program, and there have been many calls from judicial groups saying that the Supreme Court and the federal bench as a whole is severely lacking in professional diversity. So given her background, that would certainly be crucial for her. And I just also want to note that two of these four women, Judge Jackson and Judge Jackson-Akalumi, were confirmed with support from three Republicans when they were nominated to the Federal Appeals Court. So certainly works in their favor as well.
Okay, I'm going to have to brush up on some bios, I think, Melissa. Thank you very much.
Thank you.